We are going to read a poem by William Blake, The Smile. There's a smile of love, and there's a smile of deceit, and there is the smile of smiles, in which these two smiles meet. And there's a frown of hate, and there's a frown of disdain, and there's a frown of frowns, which you strive to forget in vain. For it sticks in heart's deep core, and it sticks in the deep backbone, and no smile that ever was smiled, but only one smile alone. That betwixt the cradle and the grave, it only once smiled can be, but when it once smiled, there's an end to all misery.
First, it's necessary to know about William Blake's biography. William Blake was a 9th century writer and artist who is regarded as a seminal figure of the Romantic Age. His writings have influenced a lot of writers and artists, and still do nowadays. He lived during the English Industrial Revolution, the French Revolution, and was influenced by the Illuminism that was being accepted around the world.
About the structure, it's a poem divided into 4 stanzas, with 4 verses each one. The rhymes are organized in a pattern A, B, C, B. So, in the first stanza, if we got only the last words, love will be A, deceit will be B, smiles will be C, and meet will be B again, and the same in all 3 others.
There's one thing that calls our attention, that's the capital letters and feelings, expression, or objects. William Blake does that to personificate, to humanize things that are not human. He does that to give more importance to the things that are relevant in the poem. Antithesis is a poetry source to symbolize the opposition between themes in the same poem, like a contrasting element. In this poem it appears in the first and the second stanza. Kinds of smiles and kinds of frowns are opposed elements.
About Ezra Pound's theory, there are 3 categories to divide the different type of poems: logopoeia, phaneropoeia, and melopoeia. This poem is a phaneropoeia and a logopoeia. That means that the most relevant thing in the poem is the image they create in your heads, and the meaning, worrying a lot about the use of the words.
The explicit meaning says that there are kinds of smiles and frowns in different situations, and they are part of our lives. But the smile is the only thing that can end your misery.
Some theories say that the frown symbolized the misery, the bad things, like a catastrophic sadness, and the normal smile is the good thing, good moments, but these ones don't solve the frowns. When the 2 smiles meet, specifically deceit and love, they form one smile, the smile, and this one is the solution for all your problems and frowns. But all smiles aren't like that. It's very rare to receive that smile.
Other theory says that the smile is the real smile, not just the fake smile or casual frowns that people use to give us every day. And it appears in our lives sometimes, and it changes forever. There's the smile of love, and there's the smile of deceit, and there's the smile of smiles, in which these 2 smiles meet. And there's this frown of hate, and there's the frown of disdain, and there's the frown of frowns, which you try to forget in vain. For it sticks the heart deep core, and it sticks the deep backbone, and no smile that ever was smiled, but only one smile alone. That betwixt the cradle and grave, it only one smile can be, but when it once smiled, there's an end to all misery.